my god, this is so disgusting. I can't believe that they've got a trans woman fighting against a real woman in the Olympics. Can you believe it? A man dressed up as a woman. Why is no one protecting our women? Number one, I've seen the rest of your Facebook posts. You do not give a fuck about women. But that is besides the point. Why is a trans woman fighting a cis woman? I'm sorry to disappoint, but she isn't.
Bad bitches only. Bad bitches on me. Bad bitches on me.
In 2023, boxers Khadija Khelif and Lin Yuting were disqualified from the 2023 IBA World Championships for having alleged high testosterone levels and an XY chromosome. The IBA did not provide clear reasons or documentation for this decision, which obviously raised transparency concerns. Now, an XY chromosome, by the way, is chromosomes that biological males have. I had to Google that. You might have known that already. I didn't really pay much attention in science, I will be honest with you right now. But recently the Recently the IBA claimed that the disqualification was based on a confidential test indicating competitive advantage, not testosterone levels. Now, I don't know what that competitive advantage could have been. Now, the IOC, different to the IBA, criticized the decision as arbitrary and non-transparent, obviously. Obviously, that's what I said. And the IOC, which does not conduct sex testing in its rules for testing since the 2000s, confirmed that Khelif and Lin were all good to go. Now, that should kind of be it, but it isn't it. That isn't enough. I got to give you more reasons. I've got to give you more explanations. You probably have questions, and that's what I'm here for. And you might be thinking, well, the IOC doesn't conduct sex testing, so how do we know? But we do know that the IBA did not say why they were disqualified, apart from the fact of alleged high testosterone levels and an XY chromosome. To debunk the high testosterone, I would love to tell you that women, cis women, can have elevated testosterone the same way that a cis man, can have a deficiency in it. Various diseases and hormonal changes can disrupt the amount of testosterone, estrogen, progesterone in a woman's body. And the most common causes of high testosterone, the one that you've probably heard about, is PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, as well as something called hirsutism and congenital adrenal hyperplasia. I had to read those. There's no way I'm remembering those words in my head. So there you have it. That one debunked. Bang. We move on. XY chromosome. What's that about? There is a rare genetic condition called Swyer syndrome. But Swyer syndrome, the rare genetic disorder that it is, causes a woman to have an XY chromosome despite being born with all female reproductive organs, the entire female body. But you can also be intersex, and that's why you could have an XY chromosome but be a woman. There's many different reasons to why you could have an XY chromosome and be a woman. But to put women down to just their reproductive organs is ignorant at best, something that J.K. Rowling would say. And I am not, obviously, J.K. Rowling. And it is possible for a cis woman to not have reproductive organs too. There are cases in which the reproductive organs are not developed properly in the womb. And there are cases in which women choose to or are forced to have a hysterectomy, which means getting their uterus removed. XY chromosome debunked. Bang. Now to move on to the next one. But what if she's just trans? Let me debunk that as well for you. I'm on a roll. Bro, she is from Algeria. If you don't know where that is, that's North Africa. And if you don't know where North Africa is, that's the north of Africa. I, as a North African person myself, that shit does not slide. There is no way a person would be able to transition in Algeria. It's illegal there. And then there is no way that Algeria would choose a trans person to represent the country of Algeria in the 2024 Olympics. You should have heard what my dad said when I told him that I thought I was bisexual. And I'd like to quickly add that this isn't the first time people have accused a woman of colour of being a man because they were so good at what they do. A brilliant example is Serena Williams. But Sophia, you ask, why is this everywhere? Why is this spread around so quickly if it's false? Why would people purposefully spread false information, misinformation? It's 2024. We got racism and transphobia already ticked off in the entire ordeal. Everyone is trying to push an agenda, whether it's good or if it's bad. Most of the time bad, I'll be honest. There is propaganda everywhere you look. You don't even realise it. I don't even realize it. That's why I'm telling you, because I kind of realize it, but I don't really realize it. But once I realize, realize, that shit's crazy. It's everywhere. This is to fuel the fire that is trying to make you right-wing. Or if you are already right-wing, please realize there is another option. I hate to go off topic. The presidential candidates, so the prime ministerial candidates, or whoever in your country, okay, they're all shit. But we do have to vote wisely, I guess, critically. We have to, if you are right-wing, you may be swayed more towards the right wing because it's going to stop all this nonsense. It's going to stop this, it's going to stop that. Brother, no, it's going to cause way more nonsense. If you aren't right-wing, I ask of you to read right-wing manifestos in whatever country you're in, and you will see how there are constant discrepancies in their belief of freedom, and they're taking away of freedom. I urge you to read that, but this isn't a shit on right-wing. I'm coming from the facts. You can probably tell where I lean, but the thing is I've got a whole plan, bro. I will be voting left wing, but that's not the end goal. You need to be the change you want to be, and right wing will never get you there. Right wing will take us back, and there were never any glory days. There was just less freedom, and white people ruled everything. And when white people do rule everything, that's only the rich white people. So if you're a working class white person, your life will continue to be shit, and it's only about 1% up there that get richer and benefit the most. We have more in common with everyone else in the world than we do have with that 1%. But I digress. Have you ever wondered why transphobia is on the rise this year? That's because the right wing, they can't take the gays. But that's already kind of accepted. They can't hate women. They gotta vote for them, They don't want them to, but they got it. The right wing, they can't be outwardly racist. That's towards black people anyway. They love being racist against the immigrants. So they choose the trans community, the people who have been living in peace for over 5,000 years. There's a third gender in most countries that aren't Western. The term ladyboys was never a derogatory term. It was a term that people claim themselves as. That is me. In Thailand, in Southeast Asian countries. However, when the West took over, the West decided that is a discriminatory word and uses it that way. But why? You ask me again. So many fucking questions. Shut up. I'm joking. I'm here to answer them. It's okay. That is because they want hatred, they want fear, they want division. Who is they? It's not they, them. They've got nothing to do with this. It's the people in power. You tell me what's easier to rule, a peaceful, loving, kind world, or a world filled with fear, hatred, and division. How could you ever reign supreme in a world where everyone loves each other equally and accepts each other? We are full of it. We all have our biases. But when you unpack it, who really is to blame? And what can we do? Acknowledge it, unpack it, and think about who we're really against. The people or the power?